Hello, hello, hello. That was a bit of a bit trying to get that all set up, but we're there at the end. We're there at the end. Here for a little discussion ahead of Game Week 12. How are we doing now? Nice of you to join me
Yeah, not
today.
bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We've got a lot to discuss today, haven't we? Plenty of things to go through.
Mm.
And where particularly do you want to start? Do you want to go through how you feeling about the weekend first, or do you want to go through the UCL action? What sort of where do you want to start?
It's up to you. Start with the Champions League if you want, and then move
Yeah.
to FPL.
Well, luckily I've come prepared. So I've got a little image on the screen of Ole. I've called it on my thing. I've called it Ole at the wheel because he's well and truly at the wheel right now. So being a
Yes.
United fan, talk us through it. Talk us through it.
Obviously disappointing on Tuesday to go out. When we literally just needed a draw to obviously go through.
Needed a draw. Went 3-0 down.
I think.
Was it in the first 45?
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No. It was 2-0 down after 13 minutes.
Yeah, I saw the first goal was in like 2 minutes, wasn't it? Angelino, that big man himself.
Yeah. And unfortunately, most things on Tuesday night were down to either sort of managerial decision makings, and the fact that United have probably got one of the worst centre back partnerships in the Premier League.
Centre back partnerships in the Premier League. Was it Maguire and Lindelof? Were those the two?
Yeah, it's like if you just watch them play, they're so slow. So that obviously means that if balls go over the top of them, it means that Tellez and Wan-Bissaka just have to stay around the box.
Yeah, because they've got the recovery speed, but they've got
They have, but they should be like pushing up.
That's true. They shouldn't have to.
And to be fair, the first goal especially was the fact that Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because he gets like almost sucked into the box so much, he can't mark the back post.
Oh, what? So because he was drawn to kind of cover Maguire or Lindelof is what you're saying, and then he was like Angelino was just that happened for both goals, doesn't it? Like that both goals came from the respective kind of sides where they just whipped it all the way across the box, and managed to
So we
score.
got 2-0 down.
2-0 down.
Just 2-0 down, and then surely that's the point that you make substitutions.
After what minute though? That was like 14 minutes in. Like,
but
you're not going to make subs after 14 minutes.
I think you should do. I think you shouldn't wait till half time.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to. But as you said, the whole setup, starting with the game, was like, why? Firstly, where are you going 5 at the back? You've never played that formation. You know, it's almost saying to you before. It was like when Pep played Leon. I think I was saying to Owen last year in the Champions League, who was almost trying to be too much of a tactical genius. Whereas it's just like had they gone out there and just played how they not necessarily how they'd been playing in the second half of every week, and that's mainly been down to Bruno being on the pitch. Then you go out there with the 4 at the back, the formation everyone knows, and you can probably go out there and beat them. But
especially because they were without Upamecano that game as well.
Yeah, so I don't know why
they were pretty weak.
You've then gone,
So
I can understand the mentality.
And then you had the whole Paul Pogba issue and stuff.
Yeah, not ideal.
Before the game.
Did he come on at half time?
He did, yeah.
I mean,
it's almost like.
Go
on. It's almost like you either don't play him at all, sort of show that you can't put the club through the mud and stuff,
or you don't start.
But you don't. If you're going to play him, you may as well just start him.
Yeah. It was desperate times, wasn't it? Really, it was desperate times.
Yeah, it's like, as your punishment, you're not going to play first half, but desperately need you so much that we're going to bring on at half time.
I was surprised to see Cavani not in the squad. Do you know, is he injured or what's
he's injured.
I was going to say, because when I looked at the bench, I was thinking, if they've got Cavani here, they can do something, and you don't see him, and he's the kind of player who would have popped up in the last minute of the game to grab you the goal that you needed. So unfortunately,
it was one of the reasons I sort of doubted the Cavani signing. I mean, he's a good player and obviously got him for free and stuff, but he's had like 3 major injuries in the last year or so.
Yeah,
he's so injury prone.
Maybe he's injury
Always
prone, but he's still an absolute baller. Like, to get that kind of class on a free is different gravy, as
you can tell he was
as
the
some would say.
He wasn't the striker role he was going for though.
No, definitely not.
It was almost. It literally was a deadline day signing.
Do you reckon really January any transfers get made?
I think we have to be honest.
What? Who? Where? What? Why?
I think in order of like importance, it has to be centre back.
Centre back.
Then it has to be Pogba replacement.
Pogba.
Because it's more than likely Pogba will go in sort of January time.
For sure.
And then we need a winger.
Yeah, winger. What for that Greenwood spot?
Because Greenwood can play reasonably well on the wing, but he's a striker at the end of the day. So, we need another winger. But the first signing really is a centre back, and one with that some actual pace as well.
Yeah. Well, talking of signings, let's take a look at your FPL team, and the therefore lack of this week.
I haven't done anything yet.
You haven't really done anything. Same sort of lineup as last week.
It's the exact same. I haven't even
talk us through how you feeling.
Captain off yet.
We're now at Thursday. News coming in that apparently the Newcastle West Brom game will be going ahead. The Magpies versus the Baggies. Yeah. So that'll be nice. That will be nice. Get that game ahead. I mean, you've got what? Grealish, Martinez. Did Wilson go out? Did you have Wilson? No. Watkins.
I had Watkins.
You had Watkins for Che.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Che? Good move? Bad move?
Yeah.
Potato?
Yeah. I mean, blank last week, but
you're expecting.
It was a hard decision between Che and Bamford. But it seems if you look at the fixtures, as soon as Southampton's fixtures go downhill a bit, Leeds pick up. So I was just going to do a swap then.
You're just going to swap into Bamford. Bamford is rising in price though, and by the time you bring him in, he could be up to sort of 6.3, maybe 4, because he's still only, I think it's about 30% owned, maybe a little bit higher, maybe like 35% owned now. But with the price he's at, you can definitely see that there's more room for that to grow, if you know what I mean. He's not quite hit the 1 mil kind of price increase that the likes of Calvert-Lewin has, so I think there's definitely room for Bamford to grow. And if that were the case, have you got the money to finance that? I guess.
Yeah. I would have brought him in earlier, but if he starts shooting up in price, then I'll obviously make the change earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Newcastle game was one of the reasons I haven't made transfers yet, because sort of keeping an eye on that situation with Wilson. Because I think Newcastle have West Brom, then someone away, and then they have Fulham at home.
Yeah.
So they have West Brom, Fulham in the space of 3 weeks.
Is that was that Leeds? Sorry, did you say?
It could be Leeds, actually. Yeah, it could be.
Wait, who were you saying that it was? Sorry.
Oh, Wilson, to bring Wilson.
Oh, Wilson's got this coming game week. He's got West Brom, Leeds, and Fulham the next 3.
Yeah.
So if they do go ahead this weekend, which is likely, Wilson looks like a great option. I'm looking at a Newcastle option myself, actually. We'll move on to my team in a second. Just look at a couple of comments here. Student Doctor, the big name on campus, says, when is Poch coming in as manager, Mr. Eliot?
I
like Poch.
I'm not wholly out yet, to be honest.
I think that you look at the position. Go on.
And I'm not sure I want Pochettino, if I'm being honest.
Fair. You look at the position that Man United. Go on, sorry, I keep.
No, it's all right. I think you're going to allude to the fact that in terms of league performance, we're actually doing okay.
In terms of league performance, you're 18 points with a game in hand. So if you win that game, you're third. So
it's like 2 points off the title. It's like United could be in a title race.
And considering this year as well, teams aren't, we're not. Actually, they are though. Spurs have lost one game. Liverpool have lost one game. It's still one of those title seasons where, if you lose a game, it's a big deal. But not many teams are dropping that many games, and United aren't one of the teams dropping games.
Yeah.
We also have.
If you look at the, if you look at United's record since the end of January, we've only actually lost 3 league games.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Obviously people say that's down to Bruno. It probably is a large part of it.
Oh Lord, massively down to Bruno. I don't think anyone can deny that.
I saw after when United came back to beat Saints 3-2.
Yeah, Cavani.
So everyone on Twitter was good. Yeah, everyone on Twitter was sort of going, "Oh, you can't do anything without Bruno and Rashford."
Yeah,
it's like, oh, fair enough, but like, where would Spurs be without Kane and Son? Where would City be without Kevin De Bruyne?
Yeah, it's true.
So
Like
you can make similar comparisons with other teams.
I think it's the degree to which, because like maybe Kane and Son less actually, but like for example with Man City, right? If I take KDB out of that side, I don't think they're a title challenging side, but I think they're definitely a reasonably comfortable Champions League side, sort of a top 4 side.
Yeah.
Whereas
City and Liverpool have had to make comparisons with.
I take Bruno Fernandes out that United side. You're battling for top 10. You're battling.
Top 10.
You're in an Arsenal-esque relegation battle.
I mean, Arsenal are a different gravy this year, aren't they?
They're different, mate. If they lose, honestly, the Burnley game, we'll come to the fixtures, but I was going to prelude to the Burnley game. Burnley are actually starting to pick up their form at the minute. I genuinely think that's going to be like I can see that being like a 0-0, 1-0 Burnley, like genuinely. Like Arsenal look woeful.
Burnley had always had the sort of underlying stats. They were just getting sort of demolished by every single team that seemed to play them. But like you said, they're starting
to fix up the classic sort of Sean Dyche mantra. We do have a comment in from a Mr. Cheesebomb saying, if your team, I won't actually mention Cheesebomb. I think I know the mystery of the cheese bomb. we are in Discord if you fancy joining us at all. But he pops in a question to you, Bell. He says, if your team has a weakness, what would you say it is?
I mean, there's a few, to be fair. It's not the perfect team. Are
you alluding that there's quite a few weaknesses, or you're loving your team? There's no weaknesses.
I mean, I'm happy with it. Like,
you're going to top the league.
I don't know. Like, I'm not desperate for a wild card or taking any minuses. Jota's a good player, obviously. Like, amazing value for his price, but
I think a weakness maybe is
rotation risk with it.
For me would be not
Cresswell,
having Salah.
Maybe. Oh yeah,
almost.
Salah will be in this week.
That's the transfer. So what's the plan there?
So Salah will be in
for
it's just
Jota.
Whether it could be, it can.
Oh, I
remember you. Ways.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah. I quite like the silly March one. No word of a lie.
Yeah.
It was Vardy down to Brewster and March up to Salah.
Yeah.
And then have. Would you still be able to get Bamford?
Yeah.
Then I think that's a wonderful move.
I think it's because I got Jota in so early that.
So how much did you buy Jota for?
Price rises since I got him. I think I got Jota. What is he now? 7. I think I got him for 6.7.
Okay, it's not too. I mean, you lose 0.2 on his value, but at the same time with Jota, he may not play this weekend. You don't know how much he's going to play. Yes, he can.
I'm not sure he will play this weekend, to be honest.
Yes, like
he played 87.
Yeah, but the thing with that, like, everyone's like, I've seen everyone on Twitter get like, really worried about Salah. Like, he's played the Champions League, but I was just talking to Owen last night. It's kind of rationalising it to myself and just sort of thinking, well, week in, week out, when they've played the Champions League fixtures, right? So they've played like Ajax midweek, Salah's played, and then Salah's played at the weekend. When they've played those midweek fixtures before, no one's ever been like, oh, Salah's played in the Champions League, so he's not going to play at the weekend, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, Salah's definitely playing against Fulham.
It's only because we didn't want him to play so that we'd 100% know he was playing this weekend. If you know what I mean. So everyone's like, "Oh my God, Salah's played. He's not going to." It's like I don't think that's how it works. It was also the early fixture yesterday. They play on Sunday, so they get quite a decent. Like you were telling me about the Sheffield United game with Bruno, how I said, "Oh, maybe he'll get benched." It's the same gap in between the games as sort of Salah to so Fulham now. So I reckon Salah's still the one and the captain for this weekend. Looks like it's mainly going to be Salah.
Yeah, I think so. If I had Ings, I might captain him.
Danny Ings, he's someone I really want in my team, but he's just out of that price back. If he was like 7 mil, that'd be a hell yeah. But 8 mil is just a little bit. I mean, he must have dropped a little bit.
I got Che because I think he dropped 8.5 to 8.3.
Yeah,
but
it's still not enough.
Seems to play well with Ings, so
he does.
That was sort of.
But do you not think there's sort of a risk? There could. I know there's a lot that everyone's saying risk of rotation with Trey, but he played every game before with Danny, so there's no reason for him not to now. But with Walcott sort of coming in that striking partnership with Adams, maybe with the tough the quick fixtures coming up, does maybe Che get a rest in one of the games potentially?
I guess so, but I think Walker might just go out to the wing, to be honest, because you could have Che and Ings up front with like Armstrong and Walcott on either wing.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened. I think Gineppo went off, he went off for Danny Ings.
Yeah,
and Walcott just put.
He was booked, wasn't he?
Walcott was pushed out to the wing. Well, I'll bring weakness in the team. I'd say Jota personally. Maybe lack there of the bench for the coming weeks.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I quite like having March to be fair.
Nice team. March is a nice one. But he's like 5 mil, 5.5.
Yeah, his price hasn't changed to be fair.
Yeah. To be fair, if you were going to do Salah in another way, you could drop March down to like a Souček and then upgrade Mitchell or Braithwaite so that you have a bit more padding on the bench. Obviously, it'd take a couple moves, but move on to my team. Have I told you what I've done this week yet?
You haven't.
I prelude to it.
I assume you've got Salah in. Oh, no, you had Salah last week.
I've had Salah last week. Yeah, it's on screen now. But see if you can have a guess. Maybe look at my team from last week and think, what has this man done that's been absolutely brilliant? Like, best transfers
it's not on my YouTube screen at the moment, but I'll have a look.
So I've made one transfer. I can tell you that is.
Oh, it's on my screen now.
And I'm planning
to Walker.
I'm planning on making a second one. No.
I know you had Walker.
Have a look to the right.
Oh, Zuma's in. Yeah, you told me about Zuma actually.
Kurt Zouma. I managed to catch the price rise on Curty Boy. Needing him to come in so that I can get Bruno in later on. Basically, think I will, because Walker played Champions League with midweek, which kind of tells me that Cancelo's maybe. I don't know though, because Walker he'd be better in that Man United game for me.
Yeah, Walker's one of the ones who's almost. He's played a lot more than the other ones. He's less for rotation risk, I think.
So even though he might have just been trying to get his match fitness up for the weekend, that could very well be why. But either way, I don't think I want to take that risk. So I reckon I'm going to be going from Walker to Jamal Lewis. Quite a big price gap.
Yeah.
But 4.3 mil for Jamal Lewis seems like a decent price. With they've got West Brom, Leeds, and Fulham coming up. I don't think I'd play him in the Leeds game because I've got Patty B. I don't really want to sort of gun for either way. I basically think I want Bamford to score in that game. And I've got Klein playing against West Ham, so not the worst. But I'd rather have it so that if Bamford scored, I wasn't losing points as well. But yeah, what do you think about the double Chelsea Chilwell Zuma?
I've seen some on Twitter with like triple Chelsea, and they seem to get so many points from them.
I mean, they're absolutely smashing.
But I think Zuma's a good pick, yeah.
Like, to be fair, it is a move.
I mean, Everton's defence at the moment is awful.
Oh yeah, I mean, from attacking perspective, I'm looking forward to sort of seeing Chilwell bomb down the wing, and maybe Zuma can can nab a goal or something like that. But I mean, his price. I did Zuma.
Chelsea's looking really good from set piece.
I feel like Zuma started at 5 mil. Like,
I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's have a look.
we've got another comment in here from the main man FPL Penguin. I watched his streams. He hit 1k subs the other day. So big congrats to you, fella. He asks, hey, I've bought Bamford and James Ward-Prowse in for a -4. Couldn't get Danny Ings in, unfortunately. I know it is. I had Danny Ings start of the season. Actually, I wildcarded him in game week 3 after I got very frustrated with the Son news. But he was unbelievable for me. That Danny Ings was. It's unfortunate you couldn't get him in, but I think James Ward-Prowse is pretty decent coverage and seems to be this year compared to previous years ticking over points a little bit more. He's sort of nabbing an assist, obviously scoring quite a few free kicks, and I think that the way that Southampton team play, he's getting a lot more involved. And also I think the fact that Vestergaard, Bednarak are also nabbing goals. He's also always going to be the one assisting from that. And they're keeping clean sheets as well. So for 6 mil, grabbing he's getting the clean sheet point, an assist.
Didn't you start the season with James Ward-Prowse?
I did. Yeah, I did. I had him on my bench. I think I only actually played him for one game, because I wildcard after game week 3. I'm pretty sure. So I was actually going to rotate James Ward-Prowse in for the game weeks where he did pretty well, I think. But obviously, I got a bit pissed off. And decided to not to transfer him out. And I mean, he's done very well since then. But so where else do you think? I'm gonna be taking out Zaha. I'm sad to say it. He's gonna go next week, I think, or the next 2 weeks. I've got to decide. Do you think Bruno and Veltman? Right, so Bruno plays Sheffield United away, Veltman plays Fulham away, and I also like the fact that Veltman covers the Lamptey clean sheet. Do you think those two guys cover Zaha against West Ham and Klein against West Ham, and factor in -4 for Bruno and Veltman as well?
Yeah, I think so, especially if United lose against City. United are going to need to play a mad one against Sheffield.
They're going to play a mad one against Sheffield. So those two get more points by a 4 differential, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm going to have to think. I'm going to do that if there's if Bruno has a mad one this weekend and he's on a price rise, and if Veltman goes and scored a quadrati, then as will be, then I'll be bringing them in for the -4 anyway. I don't mind it. I'd rather not. But either way, I know that I'm getting Bruno in for game week 14, that Leeds game. And I mean, don't want to toot my own horn as to be said. But I mean, Bruno, Son, Salah, KDB, Grealish. Tell me what needs improving in that midfield. I'm all ears, mate. I'm all ears. Nah, nothing. That's correct.
No response, no.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, ban for DCL up front. Looking forward to it. Right, let's take a look at some of the fixtures, because I enjoy your little your fixture predictions, because we tend to on certain fixtures we tend to disagree, and on others we can quite soundly say that certain teams are going to win. And obviously it's dependent on which particular team are playing. I was pretty annoyed when you said 2-0 Newcastle against Palace. The way the game played out. Ugh.
I got it spot on as well.
You got it spot on, but the result, absolute. We have another.
There was 2 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, mate. When Joelinton, I'm going to have to say that again. Joelinton is scoring against you. What is going on? Going on? Cheesebomb comes in with Veltman is an interesting one. Do you back Brighton's clean sheet potential? Yeah, I mean, For me, it's more the fact that most people have Lamptey, and I know that obviously he provides a lot more kind of attacking threat than the likes of Veltman does, but covering them clean sheet points I think is important for 0.5 mil less as well. How much is Lamptey? 4.8 now? I think he might be 4.8. But for 0.5 less, I can cover the clean sheet points.
At least, yeah.
And statistically, Brighton have one of the best defences. They just tend to concede sort of one goal a game, if you know what I mean. So the clean sheets should come for them. So I don't mind them, and it's more of a kind of player who I think there's potential that he could get a clean sheet each week, but it's enabling me to get Bruno, and that's the main reason why I'm doing it. So fixture wise, we start off tomorrow. Leeds United, West Ham. What are you saying?
Is Antonio back?
I don't know, but Haller's been playing well. Haller has been playing well. He's been banging a couple of goals, and obviously Antonio's big, but he's not as important, I think, as we first thought in that team. Obviously, when he plays, I think they're a better side. But I'd go for a Leeds win here, personally. I think should be plenty of goals.
I think West Ham will score.
Yeah, that's I went with in my team selection. I went with 2-1 for this fixture. 2-1 to Leeds.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot.
Patty B brace. So we can agree.
Maybe 1-1.
1-1. It needs to be a tight one. I mean, to be fair, Leeds have had a lot of expected goals, but not actually scored that many in the past few weeks. Their finishing has been pretty poor. And then we move across to Wolves, Aston Villa. Notice in previous years, I would have said Wolves will win this one pretty comfortably. With the way this season's going,
Villa will win this.
It looks like Villa, after a 2-week break as well, they've had plenty of time to prepare on this one.
3-1 Villa.
3-1 Villa. I could do with a 3-0. Jackie Grealish, Hattie, Martinez getting the clean sheet. Absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah, of course.
Aston Villa should win this game after a 2-week break. Wolves have looked, I don't know, they've looked very up and down, bit ping pongy. Beat Arsenal quite nicely. Traore and Neto look quite good. Podence looks all right. I'll be interested to see a bit more of that Fabio Silva, their record signing, the 18-year-old Portuguese player. Surely they're just doing that for the national team though, because they're all Portuguese there. So they're just right, bring him in here. We'll just Moutinho will just show him the works. We'll bring him through. To be fair, gone.
I think one of the commentators mentioned it last week that Espirito Santo's sort of contacts in Portugal are so good.
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
He's just got access to the whole Portuguese scouting network.
Like the only way that Portuguese side becomes better, the only way they can improve the national team there will just lob Ronaldo into the team, and you basically have
Bruno as well.
Yeah, lob Ronaldo and Bruno in there, get them playing it week in week out, and the Portuguese side would probably actually win another international trophy. Newcastle, West Brom, considering COVID depending, as it were.
I think it'll go ahead. It's just
go ahead. It's just who plays, I guess.
I'm waiting to find out. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to find out who will supply Will some of these goals. But if it's more or less the full strength team, then it could be 2-3-0.
Why do we know? Because I think it was mostly the staff that were out.
Oh, is it?
Well, from what I've seen, I think they haven't really released too many numbers, but I think mostly it was the staff, maybe a couple of players. So if one of those was Jamal Lewis, that'd be unfortunate. Or if one of them was Callum Wilson, that'd be a bit short. If it was Callum Wilson, there'd be under the table deals going on. You know what I mean? We can't have this man out for the weekend. All of that going on. The big game, the derby day this weekend. Big sigh from you there. Big sigh from you there. Man United, Man City. What are you saying?
It's hard, isn't it?
I thought I'd lost you there for a second.
No, I just...
no, you're just taking it in, the thought.
Leipzig to City straight away. It's horrible. If it was City away, I think we'd get beat. The fact we're at home, I think there's some hope of a result.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say 3-2 United. Bruno Pen, Rashford brace.
3-2 United. The thing is, Ollie has a really good record against Pep, doesn't he? Or like at
He
least
does,
in the
yeah.
Premier League, he's 2-1 up.
It's 2 wins to 1. Yeah.
Is that at both those wins are at Old Trafford as well? Am I right in saying that?
I assume so. To go back to Student Doctor's point as well about Poch.
Oh, big old Poch. Good old Student Doctor.
Poch with Spurs only beat the big six once.
Right.
So it wasn't the reason why.
Oh, really?
Mate,
get Roy in. He's an absolute merchant at it. Palace is second behind City, are beating
Roy Hodgson at United. Can you imagine?
Mate. Literally.
Roy Hodgson overseen a £200 million transfer budget.
Mate, he's unbelievable. What do you mean? Like, he'd sign your Roy Keane. He'd sign your Ian Wright. Like, he loves his old players. He just bring them all at retirement. Zach, come on, boys. Let's go with the league. It won't be you can't win anything with kids if you can't win anything with pensioners.
Yeah, 3-2 United. I'm gonna back my team.
3-2 United. Ole at the wheel. I think it's going to be a lot because everyone's rinsing United at the moment. Sort of, I think, undeservedly so. Obviously, the Champions League didn't help. If they'd have got through that Champions League game, honestly, you'd have had a really good season so far. In my opinion. But in the league,
to be honest, it was more the
Istanbul Besiktas.
It was the loss to Istanbul that screwed up for us.
Yeah.
That
was a bit.
Like, I'll take a win and a loss against Leipzig and Paris.
Yeah, to be fair, you've got to beat those two, the Istanbul Besiktas twice, don't you? Realistically.
Yeah.
United City. It's hard because at Old Trafford, United have such a good record against City. They've got such a good record against a lot of teams like Liverpool and all of those guys. So you lean towards City in this game just because it is City. You know what I mean? I'll give you this. 2-2, 2-1 City is what I'd go for in this one.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
But I think it will be a lot tighter than people think, and I don't think it's going to be the walkover from City that people are expecting, especially after the midweek loss that you've just had.
If Oli plays 5 at the back, then I think we've lost. If he plays the normal team, either diamond formation or 4.
After what's happened, he'd be. It'll be moronic.
Yeah, he has to
attack. Be moronic. The two Blues, Everton, Chelsea.
Maybe like 3-2, 3-1 Chelsea.
I think I went 3-0, 3-1 Chelsea. Everton look like they can score, but they can't defend.
The defence is awful.
I think they're stat is like the 5th worst defence in the league so far this season. And the thing is, that's not like crazy. I don't hear that stat and like I'm shocked. I'm not shocked by that one bit, if you know what I mean. If you'd have said like, I don't know, United were the 5th best, I'd be like, that's 5th worst. So I'd be a little bit more surprised. But Everton, I'm not surprised one bit. So I think Chelsea can grab goals. 3-0, 3-1. Southampton, Sheffield United. A lot of people are going to be hoping for a Southampton clean sheet. I think Sheffield United are a team to target for that. They can't score.
No.
I'm going to take a quick. Go on.
I was going to say 2 or 3-0 Saints.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to take a quick look at the what the results for Sheffield have actually been this season. How many goals they've scored.
They scored against Leicester, didn't they?
Yeah, they scored 1 against Leicester. But I'm trying to see if they've actually scored more than 1 goal in a game. I'm not sure if they have.
I don't think so.
I went on Brewstar and to see the results, and then you get the Liverpool results at the start because he was still a Liverpool player then. So didn't no. Scored 1 against Arsenal. Scored 1 against Fulham. 1 against Liverpool. 1 against Chelsea. And 1 against Leicester. So you've scored Wow, they've scored 4 goals in 11 games.
That's mad, isn't it?
That must be depressing as a fan.
I wonder what the record is for least goals in 10 games.
I don't know, but if you're looking for a clean sheet,
it's probably 0 to be fair, isn't it? Look at Sheffield.
Yeah, it won't be 0. I don't think a team's ever gone through a Premier League season scoring 0 goals. Surely, I feel like I would have heard of that stat, if you know what I mean.
No, as the first 10.
First 10, maybe. I mean, Palace. No, because it's not, because I think Palace went through that season that Frank de Boer. We had the longest spree of. It might have been, to be fair, it might have been not. No, because we had the longest period of not scoring. Was it not scoring? We went 6-7 games without scoring. So I was going to say not scoring and winning, but you have to score in order to win a game. So, but I think it is 6 or 7 games. But yeah, definitely one to target. Sheffield United scoring 4 goals this season. If you fancy it. To be fair, in the next, I'm going to bring Sheffield United up again. I keep doing this. And let me see.
I just brought up the fewest goal stats, actually. Some of it's quite interesting. Guess which team has the fewest goals scored at home in a season?
In a season? What, just any team?
Yeah.
Derby?
No, it was City in 2006, 2007. They only scored 10 goals at home.
Really? That's mad.
In a whole season.
I guess City weren't as kind of big in 2006 as they are now. They were on their way up, but...
it was before the takeover and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, looking at the Sheffield fixtures coming up, I've got a decent amount of players or defenders who are going to play against them in the coming weeks, which is nice. So, Crystal Palace, Tottenham. What are you saying? Palace to win 5-0.
You're going to like what I'm going to say.
Heard it here first.
I mean, you got Zaha, so I don't think you're not going to not score.
I think it's going to be a tighter game than a lot of people think, and a lot of people give us respect for, because it's 2 managers who like to play the drop back and just sit behind the ball. And I think a lot of teams have kind of played into Mourinho's hands, like come out and tried to play against Spurs. Palace definitely won't do that. We'll sit back behind the ball, let them have the ball. But I think they've got the cutting edge to beat us, can't lie. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say 3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs.
I think Son and Kane's form at the moment is just unbelievable.
3-1's quite... I in my preview, reluctantly said 1 or 2-0 Spurs. I think it's going to be tight.
I don't think you're going to score.
Nah, this game has a history of Spurs winning the game 1-0 in the 90th minute. Like that, 5. Like it's happened like 5. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it feels like it's happened a lot. But I know Kane has done it twice. Ericsson scored a long shot from well outside the box. Dele Alli flicked the ball up over Jedinak's head, banged it in about 25 yards. If you remember that one. It's got a history of Spurs nicking it in the dying minutes of the game. So 1-0 I think could well be. I mean, to be fair, the way that Palace are playing this season, we're actually scoring a lot of goals from open play, which is very unlike Palace. And the man, the myth, the legend himself, Christian Benteke, has got on the score sheet this season. So
back on the scene.
He's back, mate. He's back, and he's going to give Eric Dyer the ride of his life. So,
to be fair, I'm just looking at the Palace Spurs sort of head-to-head record, and when Palace play at home, last time it was 1-1.
Right.
Then it was 1-0 Spurs, then 1-0 Spurs, then 1-0 Spurs. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Never knew that.
1-0 Spurs seems to be the way this game goes. Frustratingly so, in between the sort of 80th and 90th minute as well, unfortunately. But
I mean, Palace are doing all right. Like, if you lose that game, it's no big deal.
No, it's no big. Especially I was a bit worried going to West Brom game because it was sort of like if we won that game, we're 10 points clear of the relegation zone. Happy days, you know what I mean? You can go into Christmas pretty happy. Maybe never got words, English, please, out my mouth. That'd be nice. Maybe have a result against West Ham and Villa in the coming weeks, and I'll be pretty happy coming into the new year. But if we'd have lost that, we'd then be 4 points gap between us and West Brom, and that wouldn't be particularly nice. So it was nice to kind of shove them back down there, go, we're a Premier League team, you're not, get out of here. Which I think is fair enough to say, that we're more of a Premier League team than they are.
Than
West Brom.
West Brom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having been in the league for 9 seasons. No cap. Fulham, Liverpool, what are you saying?
Well, you're above Arsenal at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, no, Arsenal are 15th right now. Shocker. Absolute shocker. Fulham, Liverpool, what we saying? Salah to start. Banger Quadrati, make everyone happy.
Yeah, go on.
I was speaking to Az, and
let's do it.
He's bringing in Salah for this game. I think solely for the reason that he just couldn't take not having him anymore, and everyone else having him, and him not getting the points while everyone else did, sort of thing. If you know what I mean. Especially for this game, it would be a hard watch.
Yeah, I was going to say not having Salah for this game would be.
Like, say at the weekend that everyone had Zaha and I didn't, I'd be sitting there squirming. So yeah, Salah in for this Liverpool Fulham game.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
No, I was going to say anything. Just Leicester Brighton's a tricky one to predict.
It is a tricky one to predict. Hello, Swifty. Sorry. He's saying my name in the chat. How you doing, fella? Good to see you. Long time no see. Leicester Brighton. What are you saying?
I think, like what you said, Brighton are looking pretty good defensively, and now Welbeck's starting to find some sort of form, isn't he?
Yeah, Welbeck's good. Do you think they start Mapai?
Surely. I don't know. I don't really know what the situation with Mapai is.
It seems as though he's fallen out a bit with Potter. Can't lie.
Yeah, it does.
Because I kind of got the feeling when he came off after he missed that penalty that he wasn't really injured. That he maybe felt something small, but he was just a little bit pissed off that he'd missed the penalty.
Yeah.
That's the feeling, because it was literally right after he'd missed it that he went off injured, and it seems like a little bit of coincidence. Swifty, want to fight? I mean, I'd batter you up any day, boss. I mean, that's simple, mate. No question about that. So we'll move on from that. Leicester Brighton, what are you saying?
I'll just say 2-1 Leicester.
2-1 Leicester, just scrape it over the line.
Yeah.
No clean sheet for Lamptey, unfortunately. You're a Lamptey owner, yeah?
No, I've never had him.
Never had Lamptey. I'm wrong there then. And Arsenal, Burnley, wrapping us up. What are we saying? Tight one, this one. Gonna be tight.
It is.
0-0, 1-0 Burnley, 1-0 Arsenal. That's the way I see this one going.
Yeah.
Do Arsenal come out the blocks? Do Arsenal come out the blocks and batter them? Who knows? Most likely not. Did you see me now?
I mean, Arsenal play in Europa League tonight, don't they? I think.
Right? Did they play Europa? Oh, so they're going to be struggling.
They play Dundalk tonight.
Yes,
so if they put out a full strength team, then they might be quite tired for the Burnley game.
Yeah, I think Burnley
I'll just say 1-0.
1-0 Arsenal is what I gave them the respect of the past in my preview, but I think it's going to be very tight.
Yeah.
You see me now, I'm a brick, I'll destroy you. Thank you, Swifty. You're a 5'2" brick. Well done. But yeah, that's been good, mate. We've been through the fixtures, had a little discussion about United, the woes. Anything you particularly that want to bring up? Well, towards the end, or
just that I don't think Ollie will be sacked until, if he's going to get sacked, he won't get sacked until May. No,
he won't get sacked until May. You think he's given the time?
I don't think so. I think so. If they make some decent signings in January, and then come the new year, if we just play the youth team in the Europa League and just go for the Prem games.
Yeah, I think
because I think that's one of the issues Spurs might find is that Mourinho will try and win the Europa League.
Yeah.
And Thursday, Sunday is just knackering for team.
Yeah, it's hard. They do have a lot of, the people saying, the Spurs fans saying that, Bale's going to win us the Europa League and Kane and Son are going to win us the Premier League. So,
I'm not sure. Some of the tougher Europa League games, I think Kane and Son will have to play.
Before we wrap it up, we have a last question from Cheeseball, the man himself, saying, any chip plans yet for either of you? Well, we've both used our wild cards, haven't we? Both of those have been hit. I know that El is definitely going to get drunk on New Year's Eve and smash that wild card. No doubt in my mind. No, I'm
not doing that again.
I guess for me, it's like chip-wise, free hit, triple captain, bench boost, wait and see, to be honest. Probably most likely wild card into a bench boost. See what's happening with double game. Like I know you debating. I mean, it's a ponder right now into the future, into the unknown of a triple captain potentially on Callum Wilson at some point.
I mean, triple captains never really go anyone's way, do they? So you may as well just stick it on someone random.
Big. I'm due a 0 pointer. I've been playing FPL properly for 2 years, not that long. And the first triple captain, I triple captain Dunk in a double game fixture. It was Duffy. Well, I'm triple captain, a Brighton player. What am I doing? In a double gaming fixture, he got 2 points. And then last year, triple captain Mane, he got 1 point. So this year, I'm due a 0 pointer. So whatever I do not do. I think personally, I'm just going to follow the herd this year. Like I'm not gonna try and be differential. Whatever it seems like everyone's doing, I'm just going to do it. If it doesn't go well, it means that it doesn't go well on a majorative scale, if you know what I mean. So that I don't lose out in that sense, because most likely it will go well, which is how I've suffered. And I think most likely this year as well, Liverpool will get a double game week at some point. And I'll just love it on Salah because he's an absolute baller.
You were thinking of triple captain in game week 1, weren't you?
Oh, I wish I had.
When he got that 20-point haul.
Yeah, I wish I had, because I was really close to doing it as well, because I was like, with the absolute mare that I've had with triple captain in the past, I was like, I just want to get it out of the way. Salah at home, first fixture of the season. He's the last 3 seasons in a row, he's banged double-digit hauls. First game of the season at home. So I thought, man, get it out of the way. Unfortunately, I didn't. But it's still, it is always nice still to have the chip in your arsenal. I know that the 20 points either way, I'll just get the 20 points later down the line, so it doesn't matter. But if you're looking at kind of catching up to people, then it's nice to have for sure. Which how are you feeling about the mini league right now? Are you worried at all? Are you liking the position you're in? It's a lot tighter than it's been over previous seasons. It's definitely
the best season so far.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot tighter than it has been in previous years. That's
everyone's got solid teams, to be fair.
Yeah, it's starting.
Everyone's
will start.
Went well.
To be fair though, I'm liking. There's still a decent amount of difference in the teams. It's starting to get very similar though. People are starting to bring in the same players. We'll see the KDB, Salah, Bruno. I'm liking the fact that most of you don't have Son. That's nice.
Yeah, Son's a big one to have.
Grealish as well. He's a nice one. Patty D and DCL are
I really like having Grealish.
It says, can we see the mini league table? Let me bring it up. Quickly. So as I do that, the floor is yours. Any more discussion? Any more? Anything that's urgent? You know what I mean? No.
Do you think Palace will do any signings in January?
Palace signing. I mean, the only thing that I think will happen for Palace in January is that Zaha might leave. If Arsenal are still in a state.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, signing wise, I don't think we only sign a player if we sell Zaha. Because, if we sell him, then we might look to get someone like Sarin as a replacement.
So, yeah. Although apparently his form is horrendous in the Championship.
Is it? Well,
He's not playing well at all.
That'll probably mean his valuation will go down, which ain't a bad thing.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon you'll get for Zaha?
It depends, because it really depends on the situation. I think we'd accept 25-30 mil from a team like United, but in the summer, I think we would accept that, because he's coming. He's starting to get towards the end of the contract. He's getting a bit older. Obviously, we'd still have him to stay, because it guarantees us a stay in the Premier League, which is worth kind of hundreds of million. But at the same
I think if
time,
Arsenal come to you desperate, you could.
That's what I was going to say. If Arsenal come to us in January, and obviously everyone knows the situation, they're pretty desperate. Then I reckon we can fleece them for 45, 50.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably get 40 for him.
I don't know whether.
And then some add-ons as well.
Yeah. Let me have a look and see how well it's going to be seen. So this
Don't
right
United,
here,
if we bought Zaha, don't we get like a third off or something?
You get 25%, I think, or 25% of the money if we sell him, and then if you buy him, you'll get a third off, I think. So either way, if we sell Zaha, you're looking good. I've got the league table up here, Rel. Very tight. I'll bring up the other one as well, the other league I'm in a minute. But you're currently sitting fourth. Very, very tight. What is that? 636 you're on? I'm on 664.
Yes.
669. Thing is, it's 30 points between us, but that's one game week. It literally is. I showed that last week. I gained like 40 points in a game week over most people. So it literally is one game week. And I'm going to bring up my other league quickly as well. Have a look at the Sports Direct Super Cup. You can have a little delve into this one as well. This one's very tight at the top. 4 of us very much gunning for it. I think Liam's out there on top, 1 point ahead of Daddy Superstars, which is Cal's team. Which it's very tight. I think Nick's he's on his way down. He doesn't have any of the big hitters in his team really. Apart from Fernandes, doesn't have Salah, KDB. He's got Son actually, but Salah and KDB are the main men. We all know that. So on his way down, as I'm on the way up. Hopefully. But yeah, your chances this year. Are you still hopeful you can win it, or?
Oh, the mini league.
Yeah. Not overall ones.
I don't know. Sal's having a blinder, to be fair.
Yeah. If you had to predict now, who's gonna win?
That's hard.
Who would you put it on? Who would you put it on?
There's so many factors to consider with that, though, isn't it? Because Sal's having a blinder at the moment.
He's having a blinder right now.
But Aaron's got sick form.
Sick form. What I tell you, he's very. Aaron's consistent. Aaron's very consistent.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he sort of plods away.
I think the top 3. What was that? Sorry.
Aaron kind of plods away, and it's where seasons gone past. He's sort of created gaps from out of nowhere, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He just sort of slowly plods away to a point where you're like, oh, I'm 100 points behind now. What's that about?
I mean, it's hard to predict at the moment because everyone's still got the vast majority of the chips.
Yeah, and we've all got the same chips left, don't we? So
yeah, I think the top 3 won't change.
You don't back yourself.
It's just the order.
Back yourself. Back yourself.
I want to, but
you're 7 points behind us, mate. You're 7 points behind us. And
that's true.
Are you minusing 4 salary? Is that what's going to happen, or have you got 2 transfers?
Yeah. No, I do need to do a
-4.
-4 to get him in. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, as is also -4.
I think most people are doing that though. To be fair, aren't they?
Yeah, most people. So it's like similar. The battle
I'd be
between
very happy with top 3.
the battle between Abra Dubravka and Oreo Brown is heating. It's heating. 1 point in it.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? And any late resurgences from those two?
Who knows?
Owen's got. I like
boost.
I like Owen's team going forward. He's got Son, Fernandes, De Bruyne, and Salah. That's a nice midfield.
Oh, that's nice.
That is a nice midfield.
Oh, he's got Che as well.
Yeah, I'm bigging him up because he's in another league where it's like free to enter. Is his dad's boss made a league, and he gets 150 quid if he wins that. And like it's so that league is like, I think you'd be top of that league right now. And Owen's 5th, and Owen right now is 34 points behind you, so you can sort of imagine how tight that league is.
Yeah.
So bigging him up for that. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm sitting there just behind Sal.
I'm very happy with top 3.
Quietly or quite openly confident that I can do the double this year. To be fair, the last year's was a little bit marred. I will say that, because had it not been for COVID and that second wild card, there's no way I would have caught as. No way.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I gained like 60 points after like that week after that wild card. Because I think he was concentrating more on his head-to-head mini league as well. So I'd like to get a more kind of legitimate dub, if you know what I mean. That's what.
Oh yeah, because that first week back, did we play? We played a bench boost, didn't we?
Yeah, we both bench boosted.
I think I got 125 and you got
something like that. About the same.
Over that, didn't you?
Something like that. It was ridiculous. That I think we both had like Mahrez, who absolutely smashed it. Martial, Bruno.
Yeah, City game. Yeah.
There was so many like double pointers as well.
You had Son for the whole post-lockdown thing as well, didn't you? Who just kept ticking over.
Yeah, I think it was Son, because Son was just sort of like, a lot of people got him out, and then he would just sort of like kept returning, if you know what I mean, like he's doing now almost, but not to the same degree, but like sort of the 13 pointers would be a 6-pointer, if you know what I mean. But he just kept on ticking. But yeah, that was very much we're just about to hit the hour mark, so I think that's a good time to call it. Very much.
What's your overall rank at the moment?
Overall rank 490k, 493k, I think, and like 20 something or whatever. But it's a lot better than I was 1.3 mil last week, I think. So 800k in one game week.
That's crazy, that isn't it?
I'm pretty happy with what's yours. I'm guessing like one mil.
Going into last week, I was 870.
Yeah.
900.
Oh really? So
and then I think I'm currently.
You were ahead of me last week, weren't you?
Yeah.
And you're just what? Sorry.
Just over 1 million.
Because
I assume that's because of lack of Kane and Son, maybe.
Yeah.
Lack of Spurs.
Because you got bang on the 62 average. It's weird that you got the average and still went down.
Yeah.
I saw people have been like 6 points above the average and still had a red arrow this week, which is crazy to get like a 68 point week and get a red arrow. It's just that's kind of mental. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this weekend's footballing action. Hopefully Salah can. Basically, it's all on Salah this weekend, really, isn't it? Hopefully he can pop off.
Yeah. It's a bit like last week with Kevin De Bruyne, isn't it? All on him.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. I will once again be doing a deadline stream.
Pleasure.
Deadline stream tomorrow. So if you are about for that, I'm pretty sure you're not. But if you want to hop in anytime, feel free. But thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll catch you soon.